Welcome back to Stream On, where today's topic is Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. That's a mouthful, but it's actually a very accessible new show on Apple Television that's based about in game development, but actually can appeal to everybody from gamers, their parents, and probably even maybe their grandparents. First thing you need to know is the cast here is really strong. It's led by Rob McElhenney, Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who co-created the show with Charlie Day and is co-executive producing with Megan Gans, who's also done It's Always Sunny, and she's also worked on Community. Next up, you've also got community star Danny Pudi. Also, F. Murray Abraham is the very much dramatic, regal guy who is the writer of the video games. Doesn't really play much of them, but is obsessed with dramatic action and narrative, and brings a sort of gravitas to this show that you don't really expect or don't really see coming. Also, Charlotte Nickdow plays sort of the person who actually gets everything done. She's a new actor probably for many, but she's the yin to Rob McElhenney's yang, and I think this show should be a really great moment for her career. Don't worry, gamers, Mythic Quest gets it all right. From the problems of loot boxes to really bad Gamergate like doxing to women in video games to a lot of other weirdnesses, a lot of sort of mature content stuff that, well, you ever played an MMORPG? That's what Mythic Quest is. And the show actually gets a lot of it right because Ubisoft was in from the ground floor and originally pitched the show to Charlie Day and Rob McElhenney. They're sort of, surprisingly, of force behind the show, and it's really weird to find that out because the game studio that runs Mythic Quest and owns it is referred to as Montreal. Yes, that's where Ubisoft is, but that's one of the things that the executive producers got to agree upon with Ubisoft up front, that everything would be no pulled punches. Tell it like it is, and actually this show succeeds because of that. It doesn't feel like a show promoting video games, but a show about them. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet also has a pretty wide appeal because as much as it's about the video games, well, that's the setting. Cheers wasn't about the beer, it wasn't about the shots. Community wasn't really about Chang's Spanish class. It's a workplace comedy. It'll appeal to your parents who still wonder why you're playing video games at 35, and it'll appeal to their parents who see a classic sitcom structure. So if you've watched the first episode and it didn't really click with you, I'd give the second and third a shot. Because the thing is, the show sort of gets funnier and funnier as it goes along, but trust me, it's rewarding, especially in the middle. Episode 5 is one of my favorite episodes of TV I've seen in a while. I won't say anything more than that. Poppy and Ian, that's Charlotte Nickdow and Rob McElhenney's characters, have a lot to work with in Season 2, which has already been greenlit by Apple. Yes, I know I'm just talking about Season 1 right now, which I've already seen, but the writers' room is already hard at work at figuring out the next act of Raven's Quest, figuring out what's next in the lives of these game developers. And I gotta say, there's a lot of content in the gaming industry, and there's plenty a lot more to work with. So, stay tuned to Stream On for the next show or streaming service that you need to know about. Like, what's a Quibi? And who actually is gonna get HBO Max?